one of the big things that we have done at the start of the year was, so the escape rooms hit Melbourne, I don't know,
2 years ago?
2-3 years ago, and they've become very popular, and it's actually really helped us because you can, when you're talking about live experience and live games and stuff, you can say, oh, well, do you know escape rooms? And people go, yeah, and you go, right, and there's an in there, so we don't have to like explain it so much as we used to. Pokemon Go also has been very helpful for that. And so at the start of the year, we were offered by Darebin City Council, who is trying to put art businesses in buildings that have been empty for years.
The Active Spaces.
Active Spaces program in Darebin. They offered us a 2-story ex-bank in a sort of rundown area in Preston, and we jumped at the chance because we wanted to make an immersive game in a venue, because we have been a pop-up playground and we've gone to various places. So to have a venue was a really interesting challenge to do. And
this is the sort of work we've been wanting to do from, like I said, that This Is a Door was our introduction to games as a cultural form.
Yeah.
This is where we wanted to get to from the beginning. These worlds that are completely constructed and you can walk into and just explore.
Yeah, but had we have tried that in 2010, 2011, whenever it was, the audience wasn't ready and we had no way to do that, right?
Yeah.
And so we've constructed a game called Small Time Criminals in this X-Bank, where players come in and there's up to 6 players and they get to rob our bank. So it's after hours and they have to hack into computers and they dodge laser tripwires, and we have a security guard patrolling around. So every time the security guard comes, people have to dive under desks and hide behind cupboards and things, and basically they loot the bank and get as much loot as they can. And consistently we've had people, like, they come out and they're really, their adrenaline is pumping and they're really excited, and they constantly say their favourite thing is hiding from the guard. So basically we've made a grown-up version of hide and seek in the dark.
Basically.
No, not basically, but you know.
But there are lots of them all want to come back too. They all come out going, oh, I've got to come back, got to do that again, because it's been designed to be replayable.
Yeah, so we went and played a couple of escape rooms, and it's very linear. Like, you have to solve this puzzle, and to get to this puzzle, you get this puzzle to this puzzle, and then you get out, and then you can't go back because you know the tricks and turns, you know the path. So we really wanted to make ours replayable, and so one of the ways we do that is there's $12.7 million worth of loot they can bring out, and we tell them that, and we tell them their score, and most of our players get between $1 and $2 million. And my favourite story of that is, we had a team of 4 who came and got it was a team of 4, and they had $700,000. They didn't even crack $1 million. So they came back the next week and they'd worked really hard, and they actually got $7 million. So they'd 10 times it, and they were really excited by that. And so it's been really interesting to run the room, and it's been really interesting to see how people who just come in and play and figure out what's going on, because it's very open world, so it's not linear at all. We have a little room at the bottom that's more at the tutorial level, of a computer game, and then you go upstairs and it's open world, and you can do whatever you want for the rest of the hour while you're trying to gather all the loot. And it's interesting to watch the difference between how people play, who are just general public people, and people who've played escape rooms, because they have such a different mentality. Often in escape rooms, people feel that they're against the runner, so escape rooms have a little walkie-talkie and you can ask for hints, and most escape rooms only give you 3 hints and then you're done. And but ours, your runner is your contact on the outside, and they're the one who's hired you to rob the bank. So there's a lot more back and forth, and so escape room players don't really want to. How are you going? Have you found that? Yes.
Because it's essentially not escape room. Right?
No, it's not an escape room. You're breaking in instead of breaking out for a start.
Well, there's that, but also the experience itself is similar in that you are actively in the center of it. It's in an immersive space that you have to walk through and explore. That's kind of where the similarity ends. But because escape rooms themselves are such a new thing as well, this kind of new iteration on that idea of walking into a theatricalized space gets slotted into that sort of experience. And so people who've done the 16 escape rooms in Melbourne and come to us, they're locked into thinking, this is this thing, and then spend some time going, oh no, it's very different. It's kind of there. And so we're building more of those kind of experience rooms.
Yeah.
Really, where what you do is you go in and
We build a tiny world for you to play in.
yeah, they take you elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about that. One of the ways that we fairly early on recognised if we had a successful game was if people stand around afterwards and talk about it. So they do the, and when I was doing this and I was doing this cool thing and what were you doing? And they basically narrativize their experience, which solidifies the experience that they've just had. And so pretty much without fail, small time crims, the gang will stand on the corner and they will relate the story to each other after they've played, or they go across the bar across the road and drink cider and do that. I'm pretty sure we're keeping the bar across the road afloat.
Maybe.
No, not true.
Yeah, and that's the process of how the lived experience of playing a game gets turned into art too. It gets turned into a memory and is turned into or has an artistic experience or outcome arise from it, which is you live through a thing with your friends, and then afterwards you together kind of go, what did we just go through, right? Like we share our experiences with each other, which is, like you were saying, narrativizing the experience. And that narrative is the art that arises out of it, because they walk away with a constructed memory. And most of them have the same kind of experience. All our players have basically, we've constructed a box in which you can have certain kinds of experience depending on the decisions you make.
Yep.
But they all tell a similar kind of a story, which is they rob the bank, and the details of it are up to them.
Yeah.
And their personalities, not just they make a decision to be X, Y, and Z. It's just who they are shapes the story they tell.
Yeah.